Have you ever had a friend where every time you tell a story, bro somehow has a better version of it? Like, I'll be talking about something that happened to me and he cuts me off with finesse talking about some, well, that reminds me of the time when and I'm just sitting there like, I'm really about to backhand this kid. Everybody thinks they're the main character. And honestly, that part makes sense. Nobody's gonna experience life the way that you do. So naturally, you're gonna value your story more than others. But for the people who force their life onto others, they need to realize that, yeah, nobody cares.
Then why didn't you stay in Mexico?
Main character syndrome is thinking that the whole world has its eyes on you. And I think it's a mix of a little bit of confidence and a whole lot of delusion. Like, yeah, having confidence is normal, but thinking the world owes you something? I don't know about all that. Girl, people don't think you important. People think you messy, girl. Once people know they're being watched, they start acting different. Not even always in a good way either. Some people don't care if they look good. They just want to have attention. When I was a kid and I noticed that my crush was nearby, I was genuinely acting a fool. For example, one day she asked me to be her dog like a pet. And you know what I did? I got on all fours and started barking. Kids, don't be like me. But yeah, when my crush was nearby, I'd add a little bit of pep to my step. I'd puff up my chest and, add a little bravado to my attitude. I did all that just for her to not even remotely pay attention to me at all. And you see, people who add a little bit of flair to their personality, it reminds me of how I used to act, except I was a child. People always blame social media for things like this. And while I don't believe that it's the root cause, it doesn't really help either. There are people out here who've been acting like this before TikTok and Instagram, and half of them are too old to even know how to use a computer. They don't even know how to open a Chrome tab. So this has been a thing, but social media gave it a spotlight, where every minuscule part of your life is put under a magnifying glass. That you put yourself under!
I am processing the most triggering breakup I've had in 9 years.
Now, sweetie, why did you do that?
Is this nigga serious?
Like when you hear about cutting people off, it always sounds like
peaceful for me.
That's what I'm saying. Like it just really refreshed me.
Have you ever been scrolling on Instagram and you see a post from somebody saying something like, I'm turning off all my socials to protect my peace, as you proceed to carry on because you really don't care. The idea of self-love has sprouted up in recent times because all of a sudden everybody thinks they're a philosopher. Picture this. You're sitting by yourself and something heartbreaking happens to you. Your significant other left you, you got laid off from a job, or you just got done dirty by life. If the first thing you decide to do is to get your thumbs ready to type up an essay on your Instagram story, you really need to reevaluate yourself. Because instead of just isolating the problem to themselves, they decide they want to make it everybody's problem. But nobody really knows what's going on behind the scenes, so they just see an Instagram story or a snap that just says, I guess I'll become the villain.
Say it with me, kids. If protecting my peace makes me the villain, then bitch, my name is Thanos.
What did you think you were cooking? Who made this burger, dog? Everybody should feel good about themselves. I'm not saying that people shouldn't, but at some point it stops being self-love and it becomes a performance.
Oh.
And I think people who act like this fail to realize that other people also believe that they're the main character in their story. You're over here in your own world and you have your own problems and issues, and everybody has problems. Like, I'm over here getting sad and shit, thinking about how I'm gonna die one day. Growing up, I was always the shortest kid, and I was kind of made fun of for my height or lack thereof. If you're 4'10" in 10th grade, you are so cooked. It's hopeless. You only got one option. You have to, no. You need to learn how to be funny. And I admit, the moment I realized that I could be funny, I took it way too far and became more of a clown. But that's kind of where the difference is. If you're actually confident, it's natural. You don't have to think about it. But if you're acting, you're constantly thinking about how you look. There are people who are cool, genuine, fun to be around. A fourth thing, they're not trying to be the main character. That's just who they are. But when people try to force it and pretend they're cool, man, we already know who you are, bro. Why are you LARPing?
LARPing, I did it for a twin. On fire, you need to get right, twin.
What's his name? What is his name? Because he is right now.
I work in customer service. Yep. Get it out. Y'all are booing. Jesus Christ. People will get mad at you personally because, to be fair, you shouldn't have told them no. Okay, they're more important than you. I genuinely cannot imagine acting like the rules don't apply to me. I may have grown up with a defiance against authority kind of attitude, but I'm not a child anymore. Rules are rules. These people act like consequences are for other people, like, I'm not a peasant, I'm above that, I do whatever I want.
You! Calm down, partner.
Why you on your knees?
Get down, boy! Get down!
My biggest issue with people like this is just the lack of self-awareness. Some people genuinely don't realize how they're acting, and it's almost comedic how out of touch they are. And don't think you can reason with them. There's no point calling them out because they'll still think they're right. You arguing with them just feeds their appetite for attention. So TLDR, you're not the main character. You're doing too much. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and maybe share this video to a friend just so I know to make more videos. Anyways, see ya.